Well, build my gallows and build them high. Makes a long time climbing before I die. I want the chance that's buried in his eye. Well, he gave me bars, but I can see between to a dusty yard and a long gone green. They call that freedom, if you know what I mean. And I drown my sorrows, but the whiskey's gone. I'm sober.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Quick Banger. Matty, this is the 40th episode. We are talking about Hibs' disastrous defeat home to Livingston yesterday. Raymond, you're first up tonight. What was your take on the game, mate?
Wasn't terribly good, was it? I think my brother, who God knows he must have been watching it, and he lives in New Zealand, so he's commented on it. He must have actually stayed up to watch that, which I felt so sorry for him. You know what I mean? Imagine sitting up to like 4 in the morning or whatever it was to watch that. But he summed it up quite right. He says it's like somebody's playing FIFA and pressed all the wrong buttons.
I think when I play FIFA, to be fair, so I never play it anymore. What went wrong, Raymond? What was the big problem with the match yesterday?
You know, the squad's changed around that many times. The personnel are moving in and out all the time that I'm not entirely sure that anyone's getting settled. Now, I don't know if that's a deliberate policy on his part to, you know, make sure that everyone knows that they're going to be rotating and things like that. I don't know. I can only... I'm trying to give reasons, you know. It was just really poor. I think he wanted to probably rest the likes of Rocky and the likes of who else never started. I don't think Mueller didn't start either, did he? No. You know, I think he was wanting to sort of just give these guys, hopefully get that game out of the way, and then keep them fresh for Tuesday night. Obviously, that didn't happen at all. Didn't help that our own goalkeeper was going around injuring and our players coming out for balls like that. I mean, I'm not going to slaughter the boy. I didn't like attacking anyone, but bloody hell, you're 2 meters high. He's 2 meters high. He must, with a jump, with that arm reach and everything, he must be able to take balls out there at about 3 meters off the ground or something like that. And he just doesn't command that box, and it's terrifying that somebody with that stature isn't capable of having that presence.
Do you think, David, that he was right to come for that cross, or should he have left it for the defence to deal with?
Well, he probably should have left it for the defence, right? But if he has come for it, I don't think he's given the shout to McGinn, because McGinn was still there trying, going for the ball. Now, if he's had the shout, McGinn's going to presumably try and get out of the way in some way, and leave him to get it. So he's either not give him a shout and came for it, or he's no. It was just crazy. It was crazy, and it let them into the game. And at that point, to be fair, they didn't look like they were going anywhere near that game. But then the second half was. Basically tactically outthought, which is worrying. Martindale just tactically outthought you. Think about that.
Kaiser, what about you? What was your view on the game?
Thought it was a game of two halves. I thought the first half we looked good. We're knocking the ball about well. Obviously, Mitchell scoring on his full debut was decent. Cadden with a fluky goal and that, but the first half I thought we looked decent. Didn't really threaten the goal as much, but I thought the first half we looked promising. I thought Nisbet looked really good. It looked like I didn't mean this in a bad way, but it looked like he gave a fuck yesterday, and it's been a while. I think maybe playing, I don't know if it's playing off a Doig or what it is with him, but he looked a bit of a force yesterday, and then it got into the second half, and like the set pieces, I know I see fucking defending for set pieces, it is absolutely breaking me, because I know the first one, Macy shouldn't have fucking went for that, and the second one, it's shite, and we should be able to defend. We're shipping too many goals for set pieces, we should be better at defending them. Fucking how many times do we want to go on about how big fucking Matt Macy is and all the rest of it? We just seem to be getting caught out with set pieces all the time. And in the second half, Martindale changed his system a bit, and Omionga just fucking ran the show for the middle of the park. The amount of fucking counter-attacks that boy started, he was phenomenal. He was the best player on the pitch, and everything was starting for him. And they broke us down. I mean, take out the 2 set plays, we had a penalty shout after Mitchell getting fucking absolutely hacked down.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it didn't give that because it obviously the penalty that they went for that the ref was trying to give, and then obviously Macy had a wee word with the linesman. The linesman intervened, which I thought was fucking brilliant because you didn't see that. But the second half, we just struggled to deal with what Livingston had in the middle of the park, and they just broke us down, and we didn't have an answer for them. We couldn't get going, we couldn't pass the ball about. We got broke down.
Aye, it was a worry, wasn't it? Jamie, how did you view the game? What did you think Hibs' performance?
Yeah, just echoing what the guys are saying there. I totally agree with them. First half was good. We started with that first half an hour, and the first half was brilliant. It was good tempo. We were getting a lot of good wide play, good crosses in. Mitchell took his goal really well, done well to react so quick. But then second half, just back to how it's been the last couple of games. It's just so passive and overplaying it. And I think a big part is he's inherited a team that's lacking confidence. Because we were on such a bad run, that's how he's ended up getting the job in the first place. And the way he's wanting us to play is such a confidence kind of setup. You need players to be wanting the ball, seeing the next pass, and you're putting too much pressure on yourself, I think. But that's the way he's wanting to play, and the players are going to have to get used to it and kind of just get used to the way he's wanting to play. But it's hard for a team that's low on confidence to be wanting to get the ball so deep, and especially with Livy, they were pressing us so high up and just putting us under so much pressure. They were winning all the aerial battles. That we just couldn't get in control of the aerial battles. That Nubly, I think his name is, for Livy, and the big guy at the back, the guy that scored for the set piece. The two of them are winning everything in there. Rocky was trying his best against them, but yeah, we just toiled all over second half. Second half was a really tough watch. I mean, we come back into the last 15 minutes, but that was because Livy were ahead. They were quite happy.
Yeah.
So.
And Leon, what did you think of the starting lineup? Because there were quite a few changes again. Did he set up with a few Tuesdays?
I was quite happy with it when I seen it. The fact he was playing 2 up top with Dodge and Nisbet, I mean, that's 100% when Nisbet's performances came through. I think having somebody play off, because there's no doubt he likes to fall deeper, and he was falling deeper when he was maybe the boy leading the line. So it was affecting his game. I think when I looked at it, I was quite confident, and I think I put in the chat for a bit like it looks like he was going for it a wee bit attacking wise, but it just never came to happen. It never came in. We were good the first half, solid enough. Made some daft mistakes. Obviously, Macy taking it again was a disaster.
Yeah.
The fact that it started with McGinn, Stevenson, and Pochas getting this at the back, it shows you that for like number wise at the back, Ken were technically struggling, getting with injuries and stuff. Because there's no way he's going to start a back three with that. Although I thought Stevenson done well first half. I thought he played really well. I think it's the midfield though. The midfield's fucking. There just seems to be nothing about it. Jado Hayes does well at times, but no enough for me. Henderson he came in with a few good crosses. I mean, when he came on against Motherwell, I was like, I felt fucking dangerous as anything. He was crossing and the balls he was putting in. He started off a game on Saturday, the same, but then just fell out the game. Wasn't on the ball enough for me. So it's a bit worrying, like, and the fact, like I was saying, that Livingston changed their tactics a bit, and we couldn't trump that at all. We couldn't order us enough to do it. And again, they were letting us have the ball where we needed it, and then they were nicking the ball for us and hit us on the counter. But they saying that constantly doing it, and we still couldn't stop them doing it. We're getting fucking caught, fucking far up and stuff. It was frustrating as anything to watch.
I think what was worrying for me the second half when we were chasing the game, Livingston were pretty much putting us on the back foot constantly with their keeper just shelling the ball forward. That was all it was taking to turn us and get us into bother. It was one big hoof up the park. Jimmy, what did you make of the game?
Well, lads, I'll tell you what, and Leon just said it the other night. If you've not got a midfield, or if you've got a midfield that want to pass the ball backwards, then it doesn't work, does it? It's pathetic. We've not got a midfielder that can go forward. We've not got somebody that can get in the box for these cutbacks they had in, and we Dimitri Mitchell in the first half. We've not got none. And I'll keep going about the McGuinness situation. We don't know when he's going to be fit. But we need to get a midfielder that can go forward and supply. How many times did Doige get the ball and it bounced off his leg coming back the way? And there was nobody there to... Nisbet had a fantastic game. Nisbet, he tried, but we need Nisbet in the box. You know, I can see what Maloney wants to try and do, but if we've got a midfield that pass the ball back to the backies, we're struggling. And Livingston, to their due, the second half they went, you know what? If they want to roll the ball to your backies, we're just going to go up. We just go forward, and it just went back and forward, back and forward, back and forward.
So what change would you make in the midfield, Jimmy? Who would you bring in?
Oh, well, listen. We're certainly missing McGuinness big time. But we need another two. It's okay buying midfielders like the Doyle Hayes and the Joe Newells, and they're just going back. And Campbell and Joe Newell, Campbell and Doyle Hayes they just went backwards. I don't know whether this new passing the ball, you know, the mistakes are all over the park.
Aye. Jamie, it looks like we're maybe going to be signing McGrath for St Mirren. Reports just before we can start the podcast tonight saying 150k plus Alex Gogic. Do you think that's who we're needing at the moment?
Well, that would be a great bit of business anyway. It's getting. I mean, Gogic, he's not been near the team since Maloney come. So, I mean, for me, that's an absolute steal. But it's not done yet. But hopefully we can persuade McGrath to come. He seems keen to want to come. He was nearly here in the summer. So no, it'll be a great bit of business. But I still need. We definitely need a replacement for Boyle. He's not a replacement for Boyle. Definitely still need a wide player. I think we've relied on Boyle so much over the last probably 3 seasons. If Boyle plays well, we usually win, and we've not got him now, and he's such a big miss on and off the pitch. Yeah.
So it'd be interesting to get everybody's views, right? So I went, as probably most of us do, you come away for the game, you look on Hibsnet, the bounce, you look at Twitter, see what the kind of reaction to the game has been like. Raymond, I'll come at you first. A lot of the criticism was getting aimed at Sean Maloney. What's your views on Maloney so far, and what did we learn yesterday about Maloney's Hibs?
It's really quite simple. He's only just in the job. So there's what value are you getting from giving the boy abuse, from shouting, this is crap. There's nothing to be gained from it. Come back in a year's time, whatever. Certainly after the next transfer window, when he's had them all playing together for a wee while, and they've maybe got an idea of what they're supposed to be doing. I think importantly, when they're off the ball and positionally on the field, when Hibs are in possession, and that those particular players aren't on the ball where they should be, and given situations in the park, that's all still falling into place. Things like that will take time. We can't do it overnight. We unfortunately don't have world-class footballers, so we've got guys that have to work. We've got to work that wee bit harder to have that little bit magic that we're looking for. I sometimes think that I've said it a few times in here that we tend to forget that we support Hibernian FC. You know, we don't support Real Madrid. We don't support Liverpool. Man United, whatever it was, whatever way you want to do it. We don't work in that sort of world, right? So we have to have a relatively, like reasonable way of sort of looking at these guys that we've got in and what they're actually capable of. Because if they were capable of doing so much better and playing for the likes of those clubs, they wouldn't be here, So let's try and get an element of realism into what we're actually expecting from the team.
Kaiser, I know you were on Twitter yesterday and we were talking before we started about the sort of the Cathro comparisons. How are you feeling about that?
I think that it's a lazy comparison. I think Ian Cathro played for fucking Brecon and he played for Forfar, so let's just leave it there. Do you know what I mean? He's no... I mean, people were... I kind of challenged a couple of folk and says, well, tell me one thing that he's got in common and stuff like, his post-match interviews and his team selection at the like they saying the guys did the job. See what we have a look at it now is Hearts are away, Hearts are in third, and by the way, that's all but buttoned up. It'll take something fucking really bad to happen across the city for them not to finish third. That's gone. So we've got to look at it with an element of realism here and say, right, hopefully we fuck them on Tuesday, because there's been many a time before when Hibs have been flying, Hearts have been doing shite and have beat us and vice versa. You've got to remember with the derby games are like fucking cup finals, so anything can happen on Tuesday. It isn't looking great for us, but at the same time, I honestly do think people need to calm the fuck down a wee bit with Maloney, because we're just doing that self-deprecating thing again where everybody's on his case and having a go at him. I mean, look at Ange Postecoglou when he fucking landed. He got 2 months grace. His shite results, draws against teams that they should be turning over with the squad that he had. And then look at him now. And I know maybe that's a bit of a lazy comparison, but you've got to give the guy a bit of time. It's his first senior managerial job. He's learning on the job as it goes. I don't know how much an input Caldwell's got. I think there is elements that he could probably improve on, but I think he's the man, and I think he just needs a bit of time, and he definitely needs the support to get to have his back instead of this fucking spoiled, selfish attitude that we all seem to have, that we're entitled to third and we should be winning this game and winning that game. Listen, this is a fucking hard league that we're in, and as Raymond's saying, you've got to fucking die for 3 points out there. And at the end of the day, I honestly, hand on heart, I think Maloney will get us somewhere. I think what you can see is snippets of him trying to do something, and kind of he's changed the tactics quite quick. He's brought in a lot of changes. There's that old analogy of bedding in and things like that. But I honestly think we just need to give him a bit of time and everything will sort of sell it.
Jimmy, what about you? What are your views on it?
So what's Kaiser saying here is quite right, that he's giving everybody a chance, right? But unfortunately, we've got supporters that are like, nah, you can't give these and I'm sorry, I'm naming name, Jay Rights, the deadwood. Well, let's just say the deadwood. If he's buying these players and he's the loan players and for the future, he needs to get rid of the deadwood, and then we've only got 2 days to go. You've got 2 days to go. I can see what he wants to try and achieve. I really do. And I agree with Kaiser what he's saying there. We need to give him time. We've went through, and I remember Sozi. I mean, Sozi only got fucking 10 games, I think, or 11 games. We can't go doing this route again. We cannot go doing this route. But he needs to get fucking rid of the deadwood, the James Scotts and all these guys that are fucking hopeless. And he gets the team in that park. It's big squad now, Matty. Big squad. We need to get rid of fucking the Allens and listen, sorry for that. He's not had a chance. But the Murphys, wasted space. James Scott, wasted space. Gogic, wasted space. They're not what Maloney wants. Maloney's wanting players that can play on the ground and move it about quickly. No 5 touches and go, oh shit, pass it back. So it's progress, but unfortunately we've got a support that didn't want that.
No so patient the right way.
Sorry, mate. Just one more thing. Sorry, mate. So forget these 2 at the top. Every team below them is taking points off each other. So it's quite good below the big 2 that it'll fluctuate the top six. You know, so
Aye.
we'll be all right.
Sure we will. Leon, now that Jimmy's finished sitting on the fence.
Sorry,
I have already thought one of them, I'll do that, pal.
Maloney will stay, and he'll do a good job.
What do you think of Maloney, Leon? And the job that have so far?
He's been in the job 2 minutes, and you know, he had a couple of good results to start to kick off, which is good for us to get a wee bit of momentum on that. He's clearly trying to change things. He's changing a lot of the player. I mean, the squad on a week-to-week basis is changing bits and that. He's going to have to have a look at players. And I said that a few weeks ago. I was like, the problem you've got is you can't just fucking watch them on the training ground, because he's going to have to put them in. He's going to have to try different systems. He's going to have to look at the guys and give them a shot. You can't just give somebody 20 minutes and be like, you're not for me. All these boys need time in the park. And unfortunately, that's going to cause some fucking fluctuating results. I think in his time, it what's going to happen. I mean, they'll lose the derby on fucking Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever it is, and it'll be pandemonium on social media. They'll be trying to hound them out already, which is mental. I mean, it'll be the same folk that were hounding Jack Ross for losing a final in a semi-final, even though we finished third. So I just didn't care what folk want. I'd want, like what Ray was saying, Ken. We all want to win every week, but so we're going to be a sense of realism about it. Got to understand what we're here for. But look, yesterday, that's no excuse for them for yesterday, because it was pish. It was a poor result, and we should have. It's a game we should be winning. Players let them down yesterday with their performances as well. Not just the manager. Some of the players, some of the individual fucking moments they had, let the manager down 100%. But for me, we're just going to give him time, and I can see a lot of good stuff he's trying to do. The possession, kind of folk you've got to snake it having possession if you've got to play across the back four, but the possession and try to build the play up going forward, that'll come good, 100%. If he gets him clicking, that'll come good. And we'll all be talking about we want to go and watch Hibs play, which is what Hibs fans have always wanted. We want to go watch them play and pass the ball about. So for me, look, need to give them a bit of time. Need to fucking support them. Need to support them.
Right, Jamie. Looking ahead to Tuesday night, and I'll start with you, and we'll go down the table and just kind of get a view on how you see Tuesday night going, and a score prediction for you.
I've got the fear for it now. I'll be honest. But in saying that, if you go in confident in a derby, look at the times we've gone in confident, and then we've been on the end of doing for them. So you never know. Hopefully that'll swing around for us, and we'll manage to nick a 1-0 against them. I'd take that all day long.
Nice one, Raymond. What about you?
I'd love to say we'll get a 2-0, whatever, 3-0, but I have a suspicion it's going to be a draw. That's what I think is going to happen. You never know, it might all click, it might all just come together, and Dimitri Mitchell scores the last minute winner. That would be a nice winner.
You look like a Bond villain. Look like a Bond villain.
Guys, how about you? What are you thinking for it?
6-2 Hibs. Fuck the Hearts.
Yeah, thunder, you bastard.
We can take 7-0.
Jimmy?
6-2.
6-2. And Leon?
Yeah, little shite.
3-2 Hibs. 3-2 Hibs.
3-2 Hibs. I love to share your optimism, boys.
Yeah.
I'll have a think about it tonight and then chat about it on Longbangers tomorrow. That's us out of time, guys. Thanks very much for coming on and sharing your views. Sorry for making you relive the misery of yesterday.
No.
Hopefully now it's off your chest. That's it.
We've seen worse, Matty.
Aye, this is the Hibs have all been through worse than that. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
Well, they trailed me down when I broke free. I drank all the whiskey in Tennessee.